to interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Some of it you gon' like, some of it you ain't. Tired of hearing fools complaining in barber chairs and beauty shops.
We'll get to the promised land.
This is Truth Brothers Radio.
Oh, no.
If you're not listening to the Truth Brothers, the truth is you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's get it.
Truth Brothers. Well, there we go.
Black them back out.
Truth Brothers TV. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Granny Fell Down the Stairs edition of Truth Brothers. I'm Ray.
And I'm Devon.
We are the Truth Brothers. Everybody knows that your comments are always welcome. Greetings. And she already beat us to it. We are asking for our weekly customary check-in, say hi to the Truth Brothers as we're about to get this show on the road. What's going on, sir?
Technical difficulties as usual, but other than that, I'm good.
That's all right. We've been doing this a long time, man. I remember a time when we would have been like, what the hell?
Cancel the whole show. Nothing's working. We're done.
What's going on, Chris? How you doing?
How you feeling, big bro? Yeah, but nah, man, everything's cool, man. I'm having a good time. Glad everybody came back. Sorry I missed the show last week, but as you can see, these technical difficulties are carrying over to this week. But considering this was the last show of the year, I was definitely not going to miss this, man. I got to come in and keep in tune with you guys. So, yeah, we're definitely going to do this tonight.
Nice. Yes, sir. And so how's your week been sliding into the holiday, going into the last show of the year? How's everything been going for you personally?
Everything's been good, man. I can't complain at all. Living my best life, I guess that would be the word to say. I mean, everybody's out here getting ready for jolly old Saint or whomever else they may believe in to come down some chimney, but yeah, or whatever. But other than that, man, nah, everything's been good over this end, man. I literally cannot complain. Big shout out to my dad, retirement. So he entered the retirement party. So everybody's doing it big for him. Hopefully he's not watching this, so I'm not going to say what's happening, but matter of fact, my dad's not watching this. So more than likely, yeah, we having this big thing for him tomorrow, and can't wait to surprise him and show him everybody get to show the appreciation. My dad's one of the good dudes that's out here.
There you go. Give him them Lambo keys.
Man. If I had it like that, I would. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had the means to do such, I would.
Right.
What's up with you though, good, man? You the big baller. Diva.
Hey, Diva. How you doing? Oh, Diva got a picture. Is that your baby, Diva?
Uh-oh.
Diva out here having babies.
She out here popping and locking, huh?
Right.
Get to it, Diva.
Yeah, man. Everything has been going well, man. Been a very surprising week, and surprising in a good way. I ain't gonna complain. Sometimes when haters hate, it lifts you up and motivates you, man. And
yeah, people done died today that ain't never died before.
There you go, man. It's a dangerous world.
There you go.
It's a dangerous. People got to be aware of the threats out here. Are you guys aware that 100% of the people who have died have drank water? Water out here killing people.
I know, right? Hey, you got to understand. It ain't the liquor or the weed. It ain't none of
But
that.
yeah, looking forward to it. It's been a surprising week, and I'm looking forward to capping off the week with a little of the Spider-Man. That should be great. Great way to finish off a really up and down crazy year.
Oh yeah. You know what's crazy, bro? I remember a show we did a long time ago called Kids Gone Wild.
Yes.
And if y'all ever get a chance and y'all really want a good laugh, we did a show called Kids Gone Wild. Maybe, oh man, this is when Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield that came out.
Yeah.
And we had did a recap of Spider-Man and how excited we were to see that one. So it's crazy how things come in full circle with that, man, because first off, that show was crazy, y'all. If you ever
especially the Terrible
laugh,
Truth.
Yeah.
Look, guys, while we're off, I will be posting old Truth Brother radio shows. You guys really, really need to check that out. It's 2 hours, and what we're doing now don't compare to what we were doing on the radio.
Though we love what we do now.
Yes, we do. You get to see our faces, but yeah, when you couldn't see our faces, the shenanigans we used to do.
When you couldn't match a face with the debauchery, because we said we had people going to hell, and oh man, we
ever heard our say? Yeah, we had skits with Satan. We had Batman and Robin. We had a lot. We had Quagmire. We had a lot going on.
Man, we had some stage plays. Well,
and if you go back,
Mama saw Jesus in the toaster. Yeah, don't put it up there. And we had Yes, My Husband's Gay, but I'm the one in his ass.
That was one of a new hit stage play. Yep. But, and we were prophetic as well. There's a new kind of condom that has come out, and it's called a reversible condom. We called this 10 years ago?
9 at the least.
9 at the least. When Jason Collins came out as the first gay NBA player, and we came out with Jason Collins reversible condoms. Use one side, reverse it, then let your friend get in.
Yep, that was the good time. But we say this to say, man, me and Big Bro been doing this a long time, and through it all, like I said, we went through, and though we're speaking on this now because we are coming up on this hiatus. The Truth Brothers are not going nowhere. We will be back next year. So
that's right. That's right.
I remember when we came back from our break this time, it was beef. It was, hey man, you and Ray, what happened? You ain't there, and he got some dude. He replaced you. It's not the case. We're going to be back next year.
Yeah, people wanting to beat me up and
another shout out to Chris, man. Definitely got to thank him for coming through, holding it down for me during that time.
Gotta have him back.
Tony didn't even listen to the show to see why I was gone that long. That's what made me mad. Tony didn't even listen. I told Tony the reason. Tony was like, Devon, what the hell? Anyway, we getting into personal stuff, like whatever.
There you go.
But here we go.
Serious?
Here we go.
Serious?
You did, Tony.
I did, because I'm always sitting here running everything behind you.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times I don't hear things.
See, she don't listen to
some slack.
She don't listen to the show either.
No,
so y'all
in her defense, last week, we came on and she was doing her pre-testing, and I'm like, hey, I might need you to come on and look. At the time, she didn't have no makeup on. She had a nightgown on, and I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to come on. And she's like, well, I gotta change. And I'm like, no, leave the nightgown. That's fine. That's fine. That'll bring some people in.
What did I have to do? I ran away from the camera. I went to go get my makeup bag, and I sat here and did my makeup.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a
Yeah,
break.
she went to change. I'm like, what you changing for? No, be cool.
Really? I was not in a nightgown.
Hey,
Anyway,
what can I say?
have a fun show, guys. Oh Lord. See, that's
Well,
what you
either way,
get.
we thank you too, Tony. You're awesome.
Wow, that was a hell of a delay. It's ventriloquism now.
What happened?
That's playback.
Yeah, wait till you see the playback. It's gonna be all kinds of fun.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is he saying?
You look
Well-
like a Chinese karate movie.
Figure.
But yeah, guys, we got a fun show for you. This is the last show of the year. We're gonna take our time and have fun. But our question tonight is, should the kids come first? Now, everybody knows when they get into relationships with somebody, everybody's grown. Hey, Jacqueline, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody knows that when you get into relationships, if you got kids, if the other person got kids, everybody kind of lay out the ground rules and kind of where their importance lie. And a lot of times a female will tell you, hey, you know, if we're going to really do this, I'm going to have to let you know my kids come first. And I've never had a beef with it because I'll be honest, I would mess with. You got to understand. Oh, are you trying that again, sir?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would tell females, you got to understand, my kids come first. But we came across a video monologue of somebody who posed some very interesting questions about this concept.
Is that the
that was me passing it to you, sir.
Well, I can't say anything. That's what I'm saying.
No, we hear you.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, well, hell. Can you hear the static?
No, you're fine. Don't touch nothing.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so look. Okay, cool. Never mind. Go ahead, Tony.
Clip one.
Yes, cool. Go ahead. All right.
Here we go.
PSA to women with children who actually want men. Stop telling men that your children come first. This is not the flex you think it is, and it is most certainly not a selling point. While you are under the impression that you're communicating to this man that you are in fact a single mother, what you're actually communicating to him is that he will take the backseat in his own relationship. You just told this man that he comes second to a child. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that worked all their way to adulthood so they can have a kid take precedent over them. I mean, no bullshit. When we hear the phrase, my children come first, what we hear is they came first even before the man that was responsible for them being here. Because why are you not with them? The answer don't matter. Shut up. That was rhetorical. I'm sorry. Did you just out your mouth tell me the person on whom you intend to have as a provider for the very children that you're telling me come first, just tell me that they come first? Are you crazy? If I'm a man that has decided, to the best of my abilities and within my power, to take care of some children that ain't even mine, please believe I come first in everything. Otherwise, do it yourself. Oh yes, this is one of those, the majority of single mothers got some fucking nerve. You know why else you shouldn't say that? Because if children come first, who comes second and who come third? I wish the fuck you would say right behind children come your ass. So you mean to tell me I come dead last, ain't shit else left but the dog? I see y'all over there laughing like I wish the fuck you would. When them children leave that house and that dog died, then who gonna come first? Oh shit, my bad, by your own admission, you come first. You ain't got no space in your life for no man. See, a woman without children understands the concept that her man comes first because she knows that's the only way she's gonna get children. Nowadays, typically a woman that has children doesn't understand that dynamic does not change. You put something in front of a man in your life and that something better be able to fulfill all the roles that man would have. I don't care if it's just sex. Go get your dog or your children to do it. Right, shut up. Understand this, a man's presence adds value, regardless of what it is. Even if he's a low earner, that's $25,000 more a year than you would have had. Plus the sex and the willingness to protect your insatiable ass. Quit telling men that children come first in your life because children grow up. They not even gonna want to be first in your life in a minute. I'll say it this way, ladies, your children are only an asset to you. Our children, however, are an asset to us. Can we go a little more further, please? All right, listen. Don't think just because a man loves you and wants you that he wants the rest of your baggage. And yes, I called those children baggage because they're not his. Quit telling yourself this lie that if he loved you, he would accept your kids. Bullshit. Men detach emotions from people. You see us do this all the time in bed. Men can have sex with 9 women but only love 1. That's called emotional control. Quit trying to act like you got it because you don't. Unless you a thotty-thot-thot, whenever you all have sex with somebody, you all's emotions are intrinsically linked to that person. We not the same. Quit expecting us to be. Go get your tea, or your coffee, or your Jack Daniels with your strong ass, and get your ass back here because there will be a part 2.
Woo!
Hey, he unpacked a lot there and had some nice jokes in there. So I'm going to ask everybody to detach your emotion from the conversation. I said earlier, when I would meet somebody, I said the same thing. You need to know that my children come first. So it's not just a woman thing. So we're just asking the question, how much of that is on point of what he said? If you tell your man or your woman that your kids come first, where does that put them in the relationship?
I'm gonna be honest, man. When I first came across that clip, when I saw the title of the clip, I was like, nah, I don't think that's gonna fly. But when I actually listened to what he was saying, the way he put it, yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's not necessarily what he said. It's how he put it to a point where it's like it could be. You say what?
I was looking at that silhouette.
I know, right? I do good.
Back up.
Hey, bro, be smooth, man.
I'm just saying.
Around here. Now, that'll get you shot. Yeah, get you shot, bro. Don't do that. Anyway, so yeah, that'll get you killed around here, bro. You my nigga, love your life. But anyway, so as I was saying,
trigger.
Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, see the hole you dig. But anyway,
all right.
So as I was saying, we got a situation where I actually listened to what dude was actually saying, and as I'm listening to what he was saying, it actually made sense to me as to how he put it. He's not necessarily saying if we having any type of beef or something like that, or the kids need a kidney and I don't care. He's not saying that. When he's breaking it down to it's about the same type of appreciation. Show me that I matter. And not saying that I matter more than your kids. Show me I matter. I matter. but it's saying show me I matter on that level. Not more than or whatever, but show me that I matter on that same level like they do. Because a lot of women put their men as far as matter, as the way they matter in their lives, they're down here, and it could be equal. You can make it to where it's equal. Everybody gets the same amount of love. But if you start to say it's my man, it's my kids, then it's me, and then him, that's a way of a man feeling like he's being devalued. And no man that I know is going to stay where they're devalued.
And yet, how many of us do? How many of us, and when I say us, I don't mean just men. I know he was presenting it from that aspect, but women, you come across some women that you come across some men that will say that because they have kids, and they'll tell you that their children come first, and you consider them good fathers and good candidates. So the question goes both ways, and I kind of want to try to keep it flowing both ways because it's principles we kind of talking about.
The thing about that is, and I do understand where that comes from too. I just look at it from a point of men and to women too. I'm not saying you put every guy that you come across in front of your kids. I think that there's levels to all things. There is a point where, yes, if I'm just meeting you and you dating, how can you expect to come first? Exactly. I don't know you. But if we've gone to a point where you're my husband or you know, i.e. you're my husband, i.e. you're my wife, or whatever the case may be, then there is a different level, because even in your vows it say forsaking all others. So
you jumping all the way to marriage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you get to that point of marriage.
But now, what about this? We gonna go one-on-one in a seriously committed relationship.
At that point,
I don't think it's a switch that you can flip off. It's got to be something that you're practicing. Period. It's just the way you value one another. Period. You can't say, because now I'm gonna get married, now all of a sudden they don't come first, and I'm gonna value you in a way that I hadn't valued you while we were dating, or while we got close or grew together.
I believe that's what I'm saying. I believe it's gradually going to show its head at some point. I believe that it's going to be certain instances. And a lot of times, here's where people get a lot of irritation with is, because some women, and to extent some guys, who put their spouse in front of their children, when it goes bad, they feel away. Okay. They like, damn, I messed this up. I put this dude before my kids, or I put this chick when I could have been spending time with them. I didn't do that. I went on vacation with her. So you got a lot of dudes or females that feel away when they do it, that I would rather it be a situation where, I mean, not me personally, yeah, but I think people would much rather figure it in a place where they know they're comfortable, that if it does go sour, I don't feel like I let my kids down, so to speak.
So, okay, so you're saying in that vernacular that if you think that you're putting someone before your kids, you're thinking that you're spending more quality time with them than your actual kids, or you're doing more stuff with them, with him or her, than you would actually do with your kids. So at times where you could have done stuff with your kids, you chose to go do something with her/him. Because I don't know if I see it that way. Because I'm going to do what I'm going to do with my kids anyway. But if me and you are getting close, then you're probably coming along. Because if I deem you that worthy, then you've met my kids. Or the other way around, I've met your kids. So if you was taking your kid to Chuck E. Cheese, you would probably ask me to come along and go with. Or you want me and your kids to start kind of getting along, not being a de facto dad, but still they should get used to you coming around and getting comfortable with you.
But coming around, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, necessarily be all the way there to where you're making it a choice. It does have to be a balance, though. You have to find that balance between, kid life, your personal life, and family time. And I'm going to call it family time in that sense of, if we're getting together, of course your kid, I'm going to be around your kids, and I'm going to eventually, bring them into my circle, and we're going to all bond, because we're all going to need to know each other, because we're building something that can lead to a ring being put on each other's fingers. So I do understand that aspect of it. The only thing, and the balancing part is what's the tricky part because let's be honest, right now in the world we live in, everybody's coming into a situation where they're either, they have kids, or kids are involved in some way, or somebody is in their life before you meet them. So the balance is, and it can be tough, because I've seen a lot of single mothers. Before I make my point, I'll read Jacqueline. She said that's why a lot of marriages end in divorce after the kids grow up, don't know each other anymore.
Good point.
And Trina,
there should always be a balance.
She said there should be a balance. Like same thing I just said.
Yep.
They made their whole relationship about the kids. That's true too. Chris says a lot of guys are not articulate enough to explain the way he did, and the women will get offended if a man would try to have any kind of conversation like that with her. I agree.
Granted, yes, that's exactly why we're presenting this subject, and we're asking everybody to let's just switch this around a little bit, because it's not as absurd as the response might want to come off. Because anybody would hear that at first in its concept that, what do you mean? Of course my kid's gonna come first, blah blah blah. Because it sounds like you're not a good parent if you was to accept that concept. But it goes a little deeper than that, because it doesn't mean that he's not suggesting that you neglect your kids. He's saying that you value to somebody who's willing to step with you in their appropriate position and help you build together with your kids. He's not saying that if the house caught fire, you better want to try to pull me out before you pull little Bobby out.
Right. But at the same time, he did offer situations where he's saying, this is where and this is where I kind of had a little bit, I felt a particular way about some of the things he said, is because he said, this is where I tend to come before the kids, in a sense, where he's like, well, if your kids come first, then they better be able to do X, Y, and Z, because that's what I do. So when I heard that part of it, I was like, yeah, I hear you, bro. But you kind of sounded like, if your kids can't do this, then they shouldn't come before me.
Right.
And that's, I think, because there's a different boundary. And that's why I said he started to lose me just a little bit, because it's certain things that kids can't do. That's why there's a different relationship between a child and a mother, and a spouse and a guy and his woman. There's two totally different relationships. So you can't expect for that kid to do the same thing that you bring to the table, because if he did, she wouldn't need you, or she wouldn't want you. Let me say, because you don't really need anybody, but she wouldn't want you, because whatever that kid can do, that's cool, and it ain't got to be sexual, because they got stuff that you can plug into the wall and say sweet stuff into your ear that can knock her out in 1 second. So it's not about that, bro. So that's what I mean, where he kind of took
the Pumper 2000.
Yeah, the knock me out 600. Yeah. And I had these roses is taking these ones to school, you hear me?
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. A lot of these women.
So what say some of you?
What I tell you,
right.
That rose out here putting them to sleep, ain't it, bro?
The pow. But yeah, if it's talking about how you value someone in a particular way, and it shouldn't mean that you're not in competition with her kids, or she's not in competition with your kids. But I want to value you as a fellow adult in a way that doesn't apply to the kids. And it's about sometimes showing you that special attention that the kids can't get. And I don't mean in pow or the behind closed doors. It just means show some attention, that you appreciate that person. Don't dote over your kids and, I don't know, overspoil them. Do you think that a lot of women today dote over their kids too much, do too much for their kids? Do you think that there's women out there that feel that they have to do everything for their kid from childhood all the way into adulthood?
I do.
I'm be honest, it rubs me the wrong way when I hear women talk about their grown ass adult son who's 25 years old and still call them their baby, or still call them their child. That's your son. That's not your child. It's a grown man now.
Yeah, I definitely, I do believe that's one of them things where people don't understand that especially, and this is me to give some advice to some ladies, if I had to, if there were any ladies that's listening. Well, they are. When you got sons, and this may sound a little biased or sexist or whatever, but when you got sons, they need to be what's up, Jesse? She said ESP, I'm single mom household. So the thing, we got it. I figured that's what she was saying, Jesse. But I look at it like this. I feel like women, a lot of times, some women feel like, especially if the situation didn't work out with the father, they feel like they have to overcompensate for certain things because they feel like they shorted their child something. So they try to do a lot. Okay. Even past the time of when they should let go, or not necessarily let go, but kind of like, I gotta let this boy, especially a boy.
Well, no, I'm gonna say let go. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say let go because in some aspects, you hinder the boy's growth to become a man. There's certain things that a man has to get out there and learn on their own. They got to learn how to handle a household. They got to learn how to get good credit. They got to learn. Now, that don't mean you don't give them advice, but you can't fix all of their problems. You got dudes out here who don't know how to change a tire because the mother knows how to change a tire, or the mother gets them AAA and don't want them to change a tire, or you're sitting there, 30-year-old man, and you're sitting there getting loans to bail him out of debt, which is something he has to learn to fix himself. How is he going to be a man to hold his woman and his family down if you're still holding him down at 28?
You know what's crazy about that? Because you mentioned the fixing the tire. It's we all got this thing where we try to teach our, especially me and you, bro. We tell like, yo, we're gonna teach our daughters how to change the tire because they need to know how to do it. Yes. But if my daughter is going to be with somebody, then bro, that's your job. You're supposed to do that. Like, it's the same thing as if she's not by herself. Like, it's and reverse it for guys. I've seen a lot of guys up in arms about this kitchen set toy for boys. And I had to make a post.
Yeah, I just seen that. That is absolutely ridiculous.
And I'm like, well, I would want my son to know how to cook. Not that this is what it is, but I would want him to know how to cook for himself. But I don't want to say this is her job either. But if you got a lady and she decides to cook for you, great. But I don't want my son not knowing how to cook. So I say that to say, it's just, to me, I find it to be crazy that we looking at people a certain type of way because they're expected to do something. It's like the guy is expected to change the tire because, again, I think he should. The guy is expected to because the expectation that women don't get their oil changed and they don't look after their car. It's your job. Hey, babe, when the last time you had your oil looked at? All right, you come on, because we're gonna have a problem. Let me go. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go get the oil change. Some women don't know about cars, and that's not to be sexist. It's just they don't.
But they also should be taught. I
agree.
If you're my wife, and we got cars, then I'm gonna take care of the cars because you're my wife. You're my girlfriend. You live in a different residence, and you had a car when I met you. You should know how to take care of that car, and if you don't, I'm going to show you how to take care of that car because we're kicking it. You're cool with me, but that don't mean we're going to make it. So if I'm like, no, I'm going to take care of all of this, and then we don't make it, you haven't grown or learned anything from me. The roles work in reverse as well. Look, a lot of women are better at handling money than dudes are.
Absolutely.
If you got a boy, if you met a dude, y'all kicking it, and you like, nah, baby, here, let me show you how to get your credit score up. Let me show you how to not do it for him, but you show him, and y'all don't make it. He grew from that experience. She'll grow from that experience if I show her why you want to take care of your car, how to make sure you can check your oil, or where to go to get a good oil change, or or how to handle that flat tire, or at least let me turn you on to AAA. Let me turn you on to this, and the value of wanting to have this just in case you're out there in a messed up situation.
The extended warranties that
you may not make it as a relationship.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that, certain things you were saying, bro. Yeah. Now go ahead. I was just saying certain things that you can actually add on to that, as far as like even with extended warranties for cars that they may not know and all these things. You just saying, hey, I'm looking out for you. I like you now, but hey, we might, like you said, we might not make it, but at least moving forward, You still taking care of yourself. I learned something from you. You learned something from me, and we can just keep it moving that way. I think for the most part, though, people use that as a way of they're scared to give away certain things like that because they feel like if I teach her how to do it herself, she won't need me. If I teach him how to do it himself, he won't need me. Hey, what's going on, Summer? Happy holiday, sweetie. So, if you don't necessarily, if you keep that information from them, like I said, they just feel like, well, if I don't tell her, she'll have to come to me for something. Or if I don't show him, he'll have to come for me for something, instead of just trusting that you are enough to keep who you got with you. So I think that's a big thing too.
Reversing it back around. You're kicking it with your guy, and he see you overdosing on your kids, and he say something. Do you find that offensive, and find that you think that he's getting in the way of you putting your children first? So now I think we're going back to the question of, what does putting your children first actually mean to you? And I want to hear from some of you guys out there, because I think in the art of putting your children first, for anybody, I think sometimes we can do too much. And I understand the pull. Trust me, I understand it, because recently I've been going through it. I want to kind of jump in and like, hey, what are you doing? And you can't. Sometimes you have to let an adult fall in the mud, because they're going to learn more from falling in that mud than they're going to learn from you bailing them out.
My basketball coach in college once told me, and it just makes more sense now in real life, when he was like, you'll learn more in a loss than you ever will in a victory. And it's just true. So the stuff that you don't get, you just learn how not to make that mistake again. If you always coasting through, if you get something wrong, you'll never learn what to do when you do come across it being wrong. To go back to your question, when you said about, it was something you mentioned about getting in the line of stepping in between a guy stepping in between your kids. Mm-hmm. I dealt with somebody a long time ago, where they felt as if, a man shouldn't do that. He should not come between. And I asked the question, I was like, well, what if the father isn't active in the child's life? Like, he's an absent, like 100% never been there. Right. Should a man who is coming in and being with you, and y'all are together, y'all are one. Yeah, there is no, we could possibly not make it. Y'all are one now. Should that man have any leeway to, I don't want to say, the word discipline sounds so crazy, but should he be in a sense to say, hey, I see homie making a wrong turn, let me grab him, hey man, no, we don't do that. Should he be able to do certain things like that? Now, the person said absolutely not. I found that to be funny, because, bro, you know the story with me, and you know the story on the other side of me. And I remember we had a joke where I was like, I went up to my pops and just, hey man, I really want to thank you, bro, because you saved my life 100%. Right. And that's because he came in at 2 and said, nah, little dude, we don't do that. Versus, I know if I didn't have him do that, I see what the outcome of that would have been right now. Right. So that's why I always said, because I've lived it, I always said that should be the right. Now, don't get me wrong. You should trust the person, because if you're with him, you should trust his judgment. You should trust that person wouldn't do anything that would harm your kids.
Around you should really be sure, if you're going to let that other person around your kids.
Absolutely,
you should really be sure. And I'm keeping it 140. There was plenty of women I have dated and have had relations with that never met my kids. You're not for that action. That ain't for you. This is for you. That ain't for you.
I've always felt like, for me, especially because I have sons and daughters, especially with sons, that we have to know each other for you to, like, we have to be kicking it for you to know my kids.
Yep.
Like, we gotta be locked in.
I gotta like you. I gotta like you.
Like, to come around them. The thing is that I think that for some women, And the crazy part about that is, and this is gonna sound crazy, I know a lot of women that will not bring dudes around their kids. And I know crazy part is I know women I'm cool with. Hold that comment, so I'm gonna read this after I say this.
Yes, Jesse, and you're right.
I know women who I've known for years. I've never met their kids. Never. Like, and that I thought that.
Did
like,
you go out of your way to try to meet them, though?
You say what?
Did you go out of your way to try to meet them?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I didn't go out of my way. I asked, hey, are they cool? What's going on? How you know? But I never went out of my way.
Right.
I can count on one hand how many kids I've actually met. And I mean, outside of like if we were together, but if we wasn't together, I can count on one hand how many kids I've actually met.
Yeah. And
yeah, but
here's an argument for the kids come first.
You say what?
I say here's an argument for the kids come first.
Well, hold on. Let me read Jesse's comment and then you go.
Okay.
Hold that comment, bro. She said you have to truly know and trust the person you bring around your kid. Absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
Go ahead, bro. My bad.
And it's levels to it. My kids were little. I was kicking it with this one female, and we were spending. I didn't meet her kids. She didn't meet my kids. We were getting close. We was really getting cool with one another, and we decided that it was time to meet each other's kids and to have them meet each other. So we started, planning stuff that we could do together where they could meet one another and and they can meet me. They can meet her and they can all start going to play around together. Right. So one of them evenings we're going to watch it. We're going to watch I think it was like a Pokemon movie. Right.
Right.
And we're going to get some Burger King and we're going to get some Happy Meals for them and blah, blah, blah. We're going to come back and watch this movie. So we get the Happy Meals, and this is back in the day. So they used to give you the prizes in the Happy Meal, right?
No.
You don't know what you're gonna get. You know what they're giving away, but you don't exactly know what you're gonna get. That's part of the damn thing, right? So everybody got a Happy Meal, and we're all sitting there, and they're opening their stuff up, and each one of them is opening up their toy. Well, her daughter, who was about 5, 6 at the time, opened up her Happy Meal and didn't like her toy. She wanted everybody else. Everybody else got a good toy, but she felt she didn't get a good toy, right? And she sat there and threw a temper tantrum in front of me, in front of everybody, started crying and all of this and that. And I watched the mother, instead of saying, get over it and knock it off, she was trying to figure out how to make her happy and was going to go back to Burger King to go find a toy acceptable for this kid. And my daughter was looking and was like, here, take this one. I'll take that one. Crisis averted. But at that moment, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work out, because my daughter did that because we in a house that don't play that. You get what you get. You don't like it, have better luck next time.
Right.
Eat your food. And not all of that temper tantrum stuff. And it was a turn off. And at that point, I'm like, ooh, that was a major strike. And I don't think I don't know where our track is going to grow, because I don't believe in spoiling kids to that extent.
I mean,
what say you guys out there? You can tell me I was wrong and messed up. We want to hear from you guys too. Y'all awfully quiet.
Nah, you know what's crazy about that, bro? I agree. I can't see that. But you know what's really crazy? Is it wrong to say, I don't know how to say this without it sounding wrong. I expect that from women. I expect the softer side from them.
I don't.
No, the reason I say that is, all right, one, maybe she didn't want to show you how stern she actually is in front of you because she don't know how you. Tony just hit me with the bomb. So, all right, Tony, let me explain.
Later.
Let me explain. My bad, because Tony just hit me in the
Tony
inbox.
was like, Devon.
Yeah. Okay.
Grabbed up pearls.
The reason I say I expect that from women is because there's that balance. Like, I know with me, I've always been like the disciplinarian. I've always been that person who was just, I don't, whatever. They would always go to their mother for, he beat me something serious. And they would, hey, it's cool. Your dad gets like this and blah, 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 blah. So therefore, that's why I expect them to receive the softer side from them, but then they would get from most guys. And it's not to necessarily say that women aren't stern. I'm not saying that. There are a lot of single women who are stern, but I've never seen, when there's two people in the house, I've never seen where the mother was the disciplinarian and the father was, oh, you know how your mom gets at time. Come here. Let's go get ice cream. I've never seen that. So that's what, like, and when me and my brother were coming up, kick our ass, mama, please don't tell daddy. That's all. Just don't tell him.
Right.
So,
ladies,
go ahead.
What say you? Because I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's healthy, and I don't think it's good when the father has to be the disciplinarian and the bad cop all the time. I don't. I believe there should be a time where you switch it up. It shouldn't be where you're the villain, you're the bad guy, you're the mean one all the time. I've seen it manifest in unhealthy ways, especially when a woman is mad at you, and then all of a sudden, oh, you know how mean he is, and yeah, you know how your dad is. Come on, let's go do this. It forms a bad alliance. You have to be willing to be the bad cop sometimes. And sometimes it's good for the dad to be, hey, your mom don't play around when it comes to that kitchen. So I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but you can calm all of that down. You know better.
Is it wrong for me? Well, one, I totally agree with that, because I remember telling my boys, like, hey, man, please don't have your mom. I don't want to hear your mama mouth. Could y'all please do X, Y, and Z? Because if you do, she going to come in here and light y'all asses up and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. So, but there was at a time, like, there was a balance. But to go back to what I was about to say was, is it wrong for me to? I'm cool with. I like being the villain, not like evil villain, but I like the fact that it's like, man, look,
I was born to be the villain, but you can't be Godzilla all the time. It's not the same thing. You can't be. It gets predictable and it gets stale. You can't be the villain all the time. It's got to be levels. It's got to be when you do something to a certain height and she say, oh yeah, your dad's finding out. And you know that's the be all end all, but everything can't be, okay, yep, they messing up again. Dad, no. Especially when they get older. And you have girls. I definitely believe that by the time they're hitting their preteen years to teenage years, the roles need to reverse, because mom needs to be the villain. Mom needs to be, where are you going with all that paint on your face? What made you think you could wear those clothes out this house? It rings different when a mom is saying these things.
I agree. I totally agree with you on that. Here's the thing, and I'm asking this to single moms, and I'm reading everything Tony's writing in the inbox. But Jacqueline says that would have caused serious problems later on with the raising of kids.
Yes.
Says I'm with you on that, Ray. Yeah. There needs to balance and teamwork. Kids should see both parents as a united front. I totally agree with that.
Exactly.
I totally agree with what Jesse's saying. Jacqueline says you have to be a united front with the kids. The daughter would have been trying to play on that and come in between you. Absolutely, because kids are going to try to play against each other. Sup, Pep? Oh shit. Anyway, but parenting is a learned experience based based on your examples. Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing. To me, I do believe it has to be a united front. It has to be. The united front comes with one person backing the other.
Right.
It's not necessarily where let's both tag team him. It just has to be, yo, I understand how dude can get that causes the fear. I don't want to say the fear. That causes that whole I'm not totally getting, but you know you messed up. That causes reassurance.
Your dad,
so if you
your dad wouldn't have punished you if you went out there playing around.
Exactly.
You know he don't play that. You know we don't play that.
It doesn't have to necessarily be I want like we said, there has to be that balance. But the way I necessarily see it is like I would go in there and I would say, dude, why would y'all after the mom went in there and let them have it? I would go right in there and be like, man, why would y'all do it? Y'all know that wasn't the move to make. So why would you do it? It's cool. Like, now, what have we learned? Don't do that. And then, like, boom, we united front. I've told y'all it's cool. I've gave you I guess if you want to say the pat on the back or on the comfort, I gave you that. And I also backed the mother up. Here's what's crazy. I remember me and my oldest son, Devon. I remember me and his mom, we had separated. We went our own ways, right? At that time, we kept a decent relationship. And of course, I don't want to say of course, but he was living with his mom. Got you, Tony. He's living with his mom, I got my own spot. But we had this what happened in school. Ma'am, nah, don't talk to me, tell your dad. And she would call me and hey, I'm on my way. Hey, yeah, he'll be here when you get like that's what we have.
Right.
Like we have that. I haven't got that call in years because the dude's amazing. But that's what we had. Like, and that's how I feel like it should be. Now, there are situations. And in them 8 minutes, Tony, I know I got one other thing we gotta play, and then I'm gonna say one more thing else. In them situations, though, there is a person who can be involved, which would be the guy who's actually with the kid's mom. And now there's a balancing act because there's two different opinions that you're going through. And now you got to figure which one of those opinions come first. Because there's the dad of the kid being involved and there's the man of your house being involved. And they may be, and they may not agree with the way things are being done. Neither one is bad.
We way too late into this to get into that. That is 2022.
Hey, you know what?
Why not 2022? Because that is a dynamic that can be very, very touchy. Not even just with the dad, with moms, but when it comes to moms, then a legal matter comes in because all of a sudden they'll start messing up the visitation rights or screwing stuff over if they don't like the other woman. That's a whole nother different dynamic.
We can call that one a step up or a step down. Which one? You know what I'm saying? We can do that. But all right, so real quick, Tony, with these 8 minutes we got left, we had one other clip. I know it ain't gonna be it's like only a minute. I know we can't get too deep into it, but I thought this was real intriguing. I want the women to actually listen to this really quickly. So Tony, if you can roll that last clip.
Never put your woman first. Listen, I don't care if it's your wife. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna explain to you why. You see, when you put a woman first, you neglect the things that made you attractive in the first place. And over time, the woman will slowly start to lose attraction for you. Listen, attraction is biological, it's science, and putting a woman first or above yourself will never trigger attraction in any woman. If that was the case, all every man would have to do was find a girl that he liked and put her first. It would be that easy. But life is not that easy. It don't work like that. And truth be told, man, the women who do say, I need a man to put me first, those women typically come from neglect and abandonment issues, and you don't want those headaches anyway. You come first. That way you focus on everything that makes you attractive to her in the first place. Click the link in my bio to learn more.
Okay.
Ooh. I have some serious issues with what he says, and then at the same time, I got to look at the fruit of being twice divorced and by myself right now. Might be having a goddamn point.
That what he said is a double-edged sword, and I know some people.
And boy, I wanna disagree, but boy, the proof is in the pudding, and right now.
Yes.
Ooh, see, and Jesse agreed. That means
here's the thing. I'm gonna say
2022.
Man, are we coming back hard?
2022, because we should have that's a whole different topic. I'm mad now.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole kettle of fish. And on its face, I do want to disagree. But
you know why you want to disagree?
Looking at the totality,
why people tend to want to disagree with that is because you see and you hear what he says first. Never put the woman first, and that's all you lock into.
In your mind.
Should your kids come first? You don't put I should come before you. That's all you lock into. I'll come in just for a word. All right? Go ahead, Tony. Tony says she got to come in.
She come in. Okay. Go ahead. Let's do another hour.
I mean, I could go either way with that one, but that's not what I was going to come in for. I was waiting for you guys to close out the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had 3 minutes, but go ahead.
No, go. I'll come back.
You sound like
see,
you sound like you. Yep, it sound like you wanted to do another hour. That can open up a whole nother hour. All right, guys. When we come back, we want to hear from you guys while we're off.
Hey,
tell us how you want us to approach the rest of
real quick, bro.
Topics.
Real quick, which one of them 2 shows y'all want us to do first? Do you want to do the step up or a step down? Or do you want to see the never put your woman first? Don't put your spouse first. We'll say that. Which one of those y'all want us to do first? Well, we got 2 minutes left, Tony.
Step up or step down, or that bitch comes last.
This bitch got me paying for rent and paying for trips. Y'all heard Bruno.
We want to, yeah, smoking out the window. Y'all let us know. Step up or step down or smoking out the window.
You know what? Love it. Never put the woman first. I have a lot. Oh, all right. We got to vote for that one.
Woo. All right. What we want to hear the rest? We want to hear from the rest of y'all. Get at us and let us
step
know.
Up or step down or smoking out the window.
Right.
I like that.
Right. Smoking out the window. I like that one. So thank you guys. It's been a wonderful 2021. Since we came back, we've received nothing but love, and we definitely appreciate it. We got a lot of big things in store for you guys in 2022.
Oh, he say put the woman first. Yeah, that's another one for smoking out the window.
No, he say don't put your woman first.
Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah. That's smoking out the window. All right. Look like smoking out the window gonna win.
So thank you guys. We got a lot of big things planned for you guys next year. Also, we're gonna have shirts priced and ready for you guys to buy.
Yes.
Y'all think we're gonna just keep handing out shirts for free?
Yes. And as you can see, when we do our intros now, we are getting the people who are putting their shirts on, sending pictures and videos. They're getting put in there. So and we finally said all right, because people aren't sending the videos. We going to Chuck E. Cheese. Got the badass kids running around. We're gonna miss you too, Jacqueline, but we'll be back, of course, man. I can't wait to see all y'all next year. But yeah, what was we saying about the shirts and all that? Whatever. But no, you guys can send us the videos, man. Videos or pictures.
Make your videos and take your pictures. We want to see some more. We were supposed to got one from somebody, but
they just didn't want to send theirs out.
Y'all done sent me that little ass t-shirt.
Y'all,
That
why
little
does she
ass,
keep
that little
doing
ass
Not
t-shirt.
y'all.
Done,
not y'all,
a lot
it's
of
a
people
wrap.
want them t-shirts because of you.
It's this guy.
Right.
It's the guy who's out here looking at silhouettes that's gonna get him hit in the throat, man. That's what I'm talking about, man.
You know what? That's fine. Y'all wouldn't let me finish. Y'all wouldn't let me finish the joke before you got to threatening me. I was about to say, boy, that's a lucky man that got that silhouette right there.
Yeah, all right. Great.
Y'all missed a hell of a show last night, but I ain't gonna tell you about it.
Oh, we got to go back and listen.
They had me on one last night. I mean, oh my God. But we're not going to talk about that. What I wanted to tell you guys before you close out is I want to first of all thank your viewers for making your show what it is. But you can't get what you get without what you have put into this show. And you guys are coming up on 1 year under this network, and I want to say thank you. You have been a gift to me, and I wanted to say that so that I could wish you a wonderful holiday, a very safe holiday, and it has been a true blessing to have you guys on my network. I have really made the right choice, and when I talked Ray into it, the very first of it, and then you sealed it up for me, Devon, I was like, oh yeah, because we go back a long way. And I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you both. And the listeners, you guys couldn't wish for a better team with these two hosts for this show. And I see them going far. And with your continued support, they're gonna skyrocket. I just have that feeling. So 22 might just be your year, because I'm going to be doing some shopping next year.
Sounds good to me. But nah, and yeah, like Tony said too, to everybody who take time out their Thursday nights and Thursday afternoons, considering where you are, evenings, definitely thank y'all. We really came back. Man, who's sexual chocolate, man? Well, I'll be sexual chocolate. That's cool.
That's you. Yeah.
But anyway,
Chris.
so
good.
But no, in all seriousness though, me and bro brought this show back strictly for everybody else. I mean, we was talking. We never could figure out how to make it work. But Tony gave us the platform to come back, and we appreciate him for that. And we definitely always knew, he was like, man, we got to come back. But it just, for some odd reason, coming back and being under the umbrella with you, Tony, just seemed right. And for that reason alone, we you know, like you said, we go back over a decade now, and it's like it's everything I expected it to be. So you know, you really went and dug the Truth Brothers up and said, all right, we dusted us off and put us back out there and said, y'all need to get out there and get y'all stuff. Appreciate it.
You have an audience, and you need to be in front of them at all times. You
Big
really
bro.
do. You really do.
No, man, you said it all. It doesn't require me to say anything. I concur with what you said 200%.
Thank you, guys. But again, have a wonderful and a safe holiday. Try not to get into any trouble, you know.
I make no promises.
Yeah, that's my problem. I want to see you back here.
Real quick, Tony. I know this is gonna be crazy, it's off topic, but I'm gonna ask on the air. So, are we doing that other person's show next year? Because I can't wait for that.
That's what Ray and I were talking about before you guys came on air. I actually have meetings set up with her and Yvonne on Saturday. So we're going to be ironing some things out, structuring some things, trying to gain a platform, you know, as to how she's going to stand, because we don't know if we're going to have her alone or an occasional co-host. So a lot of ironing out to do on Saturday, because we have to start building the show, and you know how that is. So I'll need all that time for us to be off to build that show.
Yeah, I definitely if you was, I definitely wanted to pub that up right now because these people who are in there, y'all are gonna enjoy the hell out of that show.
You
I
already
promise.
have been.
Yes, sir, Chris. You know what it is. It's cutting it close with CC. Can't wait for that.
I like that.
Yeah, take it.
Hang
Take
on. Where are my pins? Hold on.
Hey, Yvonne. Yeah.
I think
Happy holidays, Yvonne.
that last title she was throwing at me, I was like, oh,
Matter of
man.
fact, Yvonne, you stay out of trouble over this holiday.
Yeah, buddy.
Stay out the bars.
Okay, Devon.
Yeah.
She
done. All right, just to let you know, that's trademark Tony. So
check my message.
Gonna need some residuals off that. But we taking up too much of these people's time in this Saturday. And shout out to Hot Topics Talk Radio. That's another person down there, y'all. Yvonne Baker, y'all, man, she's hilarious. I love her. Again, everybody, man, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, all of that. Bro, take us out, man.
Happy Krampus. I hope Krampus brings the bad things in life to you and only you. So we gonna let you know. And over the holidays, I want you to, when you're giving your Merry Christmases, I want you to let everybody know that if they're not watching the Truth Brothers,
then the truth ain't in you.
Live long and prosper, people.
Good night, everybody. Happy holidays.